Welcome, gents. Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Have you ever wondered what happens when someone dares to carve their own path, defying societal expectations and conventional norms? What goes through people's minds when they encounter someone who defies all the norms and blazes their own trail? I'm talking about Sigma males, those fascinating enigmas wrapped in independence and mystery. Today we're diving deep into the 8 brutally honest ways people perceive Sigma males. We're doing a countdown, so stick with me till the end to satisfy your curiosity and uncover the real truths about this incredible personality type. Together, we'll explore what makes Sigma males so unique and why they leave such a lasting impression. Let's dive right in and see how the world really sees Sigma males. Number 8. Cold-hearted. Sigma males often come across as cold-hearted, but that's because they prioritize pragmatism and honesty over sugarcoating the truth. They aren't the type to tell you what you want to hear just to make you feel better. If your idea is flawed, they'll let you know, not out of malice, but because they believe in keeping it real. This straightforwardness can be refreshing or brutal depending on how thick your skin is. People might see him as emotionally distant because he doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. He's not one to gush over every little thing or get swept up in drama. Instead, he processes his emotions internally and expresses them in his own way, often through actions rather than words. If he cares about you, he'll show it by being there when it counts, even if he doesn't say it out loud all the time. This practicality can be misinterpreted as a lack of empathy. The truth is, he feels deeply but chooses to focus on solutions rather than getting bogged down by the emotional roller coaster. He's the friend who won't just sympathize with your problems, but will help you come up with a plan to tackle them. While this might seem cold to some, it's actually his way of showing he cares. His seemingly icy demeanor is often a defense mechanism. By keeping his emotions in check, he protects himself from getting hurt and ensures he can think clearly in tough situations. He's like the thermostat in a room, always regulating the temperature to prevent things from overheating. So while he might not be the warmest person at first glance, he's reliable and genuine, which is a lot more valuable in the long run. Number 7. Afraid of commitment. Sigma males are frequently seen as afraid of commitment, but far from that. They value their freedom and autonomy above everything else. He's the kind of person who reads the fine print before signing up for anything, just to make sure there are no hidden clauses that might trap him. When it comes to relationships, this translates to a cautious approach. He's not going to dive headfirst into anything without thoroughly assessing if it aligns with his values and goals. To the casual observer, this can look like he's afraid of attachment or just not interested in settling down. In reality, he's looking for a meaningful connection that doesn't compromise his individuality. He's like that person who doesn't settle for the first car they test drive. He wants to make sure it's the perfect fit. This makes him seem picky, but he just knows exactly what he wants and isn't willing to settle for anything less. His friends might tease him that his ideal partner is a unicorn, mythical and impossible to find. But he's okay with that because he'd rather wait for the right person than be with someone who doesn't understand or respect his need for independence. It's not commitment he's afraid of. It's committing to the wrong person and losing himself in the process. This approach can be misinterpreted as fear of commitment, but it's really about self-respect and self-awareness. He knows his worth and isn't afraid to walk away from situations that don't serve him. While this might seem daunting to those looking for a quick and easy relationship, it's actually a sign of his strength and confidence. So while he may seem hard to pin down, it's not out of fear. It's out of a deep understanding of what he truly needs and deserves. If you're finding this exploration as intriguing as we do, consider subscribing to our channel for more insightful content like this. Hit the subscribe button and join our community as we continue to unravel fascinating personalities and explore the complexities of human behavior together. Number 6. Put together. Sigma males often appear impeccably put together, exuding confidence and self-sufficiency. They're the ones who can pull off the "I woke up like this" look with seemingly no effort, while the rest of us are struggling to find matching socks. Whether it's their career, personal life, or even their wardrobe, they seem to have it all figured out. It's like they have an invisible checklist they effortlessly tick off every day. This polished exterior can be intimidating to others. People might think he has some secret life manual that the rest of us weren't given. In reality, he just knows what he wants and doesn't waste time on things that don't matter to him. He's the one who can juggle multiple projects at work, maintain a spotless home, and still have time to hit the gym, all while looking like he stepped out of a magazine. His seemingly perfect facade can make him seem unapproachable. It's not that he's trying to be. He just has a knack for making everything look easy. This can lead others to believe he doesn't need help or isn't interested in forming connections, which couldn't be further from the truth. He simply values efficiency and doesn't let chaos take over his life. Despite the polished exterior, he's human too, with his own set of challenges and insecurities. But his ability to maintain composure and stay organized often masks these struggles, leaving others to wonder how he does it all. It's not magic, but rather a mix of determination, prioritization, and a little bit of perfectionism. So while he might seem like he has it all together, remember that he's just as human as the rest of us, only with a better organized closet. Number 5. Manipulative. Sigma males are often seen as manipulative because they have an uncanny ability to read people and situations. It's like they have a built-in lie detector and a knack for seeing through facades. This skill can make others feel like he's always one step ahead, crafting outcomes to his advantage. But really, he's just highly perceptive and strategic in his interactions. Imagine a workplace scenario where there's a new project up for grabs. While everyone else is loudly pitching their ideas in the meeting room, he's the one quietly observing from the back. He's noting who's in favor, who's against, and who's on the fence. Then, during a casual chat at the coffee machine or break room, he subtly aligns himself with the key decision makers. By the time others realize what's happening, he's already secured the project, all the while making it seem like taking on the project was their brilliant idea all along. By the time the meeting reconvenes, he's already positioned himself as the natural leader for the task. To others, it might look like he manipulated the situation, but in reality, he just played his cards exceptionally well. His knack for influencing outcomes often comes from a deep understanding of human behavior. He knows which buttons to push and when to back off. It's not about deceit. It's about knowing how to get things done efficiently. This skill can be both impressive and intimidating, especially to those who prefer straightforward interactions. But here's the twist. He's usually not doing it for selfish reasons. He just sees the bigger picture and knows how to move the pieces on the board to create the best possible outcome. It's like he's playing chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers. He's not interested in power plays, he's interested in results. So while his actions might come off as manipulative, they're often driven by a desire to achieve something meaningful and impactful. He's not trying to control people, he's just exceptionally good at understanding what makes them tick and using that insight to navigate through life's complexities. Just don't challenge him to a game of poker. You'll probably end up losing your shirt. Number 4. Creative. Sigma males are incredibly creative, often channeling their unique perspectives into artistic or innovative endeavors. They see the world through a lens that most people don't even know exists. While others might see a blank canvas, he sees a masterpiece waiting to happen, whether it's through painting, writing, or even coding a new app. His creativity isn't just a hobby, it's a way of life. However, this creative streak can make him seem a bit eccentric. He might be the one with doodles all over his notebook during a meeting, not because he's not paying attention, but because that's how he processes ideas. His desk might look like a tornado hit it, but he knows exactly where everything is, a true sign of a creative mind at work. To others, his unconventional approach to problems can seem baffling, if not downright bizarre. His creativity can also make him seem out of touch with reality. While others are discussing the latest episode of a popular TV show, he's lost in thought about his next big project or how to solve a complex issue at work with a totally off-the-wall solution. This can sometimes make conversations with him feel like trying to talk to someone from another planet, but in the best way possible. He brings a fresh perspective to everything, which can be both enlightening and a bit confusing for those who don't operate on his wavelength. In essence, his creativity is his superpower, but it does make him stand out in ways that can be puzzling to those who are more conventional. While he might not always be understood, his innovative spirit is what sets him apart and makes him truly extraordinary. Number 3, antisocial. Sigma males often come across as antisocial, not because they dislike people, but because they prioritize their independence and personal space. Picture this. At a party, while everyone else is chatting away and mingling, he's the one who's either deep in thought, casually observing from the corner, or simply absent because he chose to spend his evening in a much more fulfilling way, like binge-watching a documentary series or finishing a good book. It's not that he doesn't enjoy social interaction, but he tends to avoid the superficial chit-chat and prefers meaningful conversations. This preference can lead others to mistakenly view him as aloof or even snobbish. He might RSVP maybe to every invitation, not because he's playing hard to get, but because he genuinely weighs whether the event is worth his time and energy. Social gatherings often feel like a draining obligation rather than an exciting opportunity. The truth is, he values his personal space and alone time more than the average person, which can come off as antisocial to those who don't understand his need for solitude. He's not avoiding people. He's just making sure that when he does engage, it's truly worth it. So while others might think he's standoffish, he's actually just very selective about where he invests his social energy. Number 2, intimidating. Sigma males can be downright intimidating. It's not that they go out of their way to scare people, but their strong presence and refusal to conform to societal norms can make others feel like they're standing in the shadow of a giant. He walks into a room with a quiet confidence that says he doesn't need anyone's approval, and that can be unnerving for those who thrive on validation. His ability to think independently and challenge the status quo makes him seem like he's always 5 steps ahead. While everyone else is nodding along, he's the one raising an eyebrow and asking the tough questions. This can make meetings feel like a pop quiz that nobody studied for, leaving others scrambling to keep up. He's not interested in playing the usual social games or adhering to unwritten rules about how men are supposed to behave. This nonconformity can be jarring, especially in environments where fitting in is the norm. People might mistake his confidence for arrogance, but he's just being true to himself and doesn't see the point in pretending otherwise. Even his silence can be intimidating. While others fill the air with chatter, he's perfectly comfortable with quiet, using it to observe and understand before he speaks. When he does talk, it's with purpose, cutting through the noise with clarity and insight. This makes his words carry more weight, often leaving others feeling like they've been hit with a truth bomb. In essence, his intimidating aura comes from his authenticity and unwillingness to settle for anything less than what he believes in. He's not trying to be scary. He's just not afraid to stand alone if it means staying true to himself. Number 1, disconnected. Sigma males often come across as disconnected, almost like they're tuned into a different frequency from everyone else. It's not that they're antisocial, they just have a unique way of engaging with the world that can make them seem distant. Imagine a group chat where everyone's sharing memes and small talk, and he's the one dropping in with a thought-provoking question out of nowhere. It's not that he doesn't enjoy light-hearted banter, he just prefers conversations that dive a little deeper. Take, for instance, a typical office setting. During lunch, while everyone else is discussing the latest sports scores, he might be quietly reading a book or brainstorming his next big project. It's not because he thinks he's above the conversation, but because he finds his own thoughts more engaging than the play-by-play of a game. His colleagues might see him as aloof or uninterested, but in reality he's just more selective about where he invests his social energy. This preference for introspection can make him seem like he's in his own world. He's the person who might forget to respond to a message because he got lost in a new idea or a fascinating article. It's not personal. He's simply deeply engrossed in his own interests. His friends understand that when they do have his attention, it's genuine and focused, even if it's sporadic. His seeming detachment is actually a form of self-preservation. He knows that excessive social interaction can drain him, so he carefully manages his social interactions. When he does engage, He brings his authentic self to the conversation, making those moments meaningful and valuable. So while he might appear disconnected at times, it's simply his way of staying balanced and true to himself in a world that often values constant connection. To conclude, Sigma males embody a fascinating and intricate presence, navigating their path with a mix of independence, enigma, and strategic acumen. Their unconventional approach can be misinterpreted, yet it demands both respect and admiration. By questioning conventions and remaining authentic, they challenge us to reconsider our perspectives and embrace the diversity of individual expression. Truly understanding Sigma males involves recognizing their depth and the profound influence they exert on those in their orbit. So when you encounter a Sigma male next time, delve beyond appearances. You might uncover a compelling, multidimensional personality that defies simple classification. Thanks for watching, gents. See you in the next video. Bye for now, and God bless.